People disappear every day in strange and mysterious ways. Some vanish from right under the noses of their family, while others might accidentally wander off or become victims of foul play. Some are lucky enough to be found, while many others are never seen or heard from again. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we will be looking at 3 instances where people disappeared. Hiker rescued after a man on Twitter located him from a photo of his feet. Rene Compine was a 46-year-old who embarked on a hike through the mountains in Southern California. He was in contact with his friends, even sending them a picture of his feet dangling off a ledge, but after several hours passed with no further communication from Compine, his friends reported him missing to the police and search teams were dispatched. Unfortunately, the police did not have much to go on as they began the search. Compine's friends were not sure exactly which trail or region he was hiking in, and it appeared that his phone was out of charge as texts and calls were not going through. He had also disabled the location services on his phone, so officials were not able to track his last known location from the texts that he had sent. All that they had to base their search off was the low-resolution photo that he had sent his friends, containing only his legs and some rocks, with no defining features or landmarks whatsoever. As lead after lead ran out and the search parties yielded nothing, police took to Twitter to ask for assistance. They posted the somewhat grainy photo with the caption, "Are you an avid hiker in the Mount Waterman area? Search and rescue teams need help locating a missing hiker." He sent this picture to a friend. His car was found near Buckhorn Campground trailhead. Call us if you recognize the area pictured below. They posted the picture in the hope that someone who trekked the area regularly would be familiar enough with the landscape to be able to identify the region from the small amount included in the photo. However, they ended up being helped by someone who had never been on the trail before in his life. Benjamin Kuo, or A16YR as he is known on Twitter, is a ham radio operator who instantly began working on determining the location of Compine's photo. "I've got a very weird hobby, which is I love taking a look at photos and figuring out where they're taken." He began combing through satellite footage and 3D terrain maps of the area, searching for formations that matched up with those that were in the background of the photo. Amazingly, he was able to narrow it down to very specific coordinates, which was where he believed Compine was when he took the photo. He posted these results to Twitter and contacted the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, who then began narrowing their search according to Kuo's findings. The search and rescue team flew helicopters at low altitudes through the area, which was covered with a dense fog, and finally found Compine, who was unharmed and airlifted to safety. Although he suffered no injuries, Compine was desperate to be found at the time of his rescue, telling Kuo, "I crazy appreciate what you did. I really don't know if I could make it there another day. It was just so cold." He had taken a wrong turn and ended up lost due to recent wildfires in the area that had burned down some of the signs indicating the path of the trail. Kuo's amazing job finding the location of the photo could have very well saved Compine's life, as police and search parties had no idea where in the vast and dense California hiking area he had gone missing in, and it could have taken weeks to eventually find him. There is no doubt that he owes his rescue to Kuo's strange hobby and his knowledge and use of available technology. Robert Horans' disappearance. Unfortunately, some disappearances do not have the happy ending that Rene Compine was able to experience. Robert Horahan is one of these cases. He has been missing for a decade, leaving his heartbroken wife and family with no answers and nothing to do but wonder at what might have happened to their beloved husband and father. Horahan went missing on April 8, 2011, after leaving for work in the family's Chevrolet Cavalier. However, when he never returned from work that evening, his wife Tara immediately knew that something must have gone horribly wrong. Robert was fiercely devoted to their daughter and would never have left her, not to mention the fact that he took the life-saving heart medications and would have had to have taken them with him if he had intentionally left his family. Once the missing persons report was filed and police launched an investigation, officials discovered that Robert had last used his phone at 7:41 that morning in Palmyra, Virginia. and had also been seen at the grocery store in Palmyra at around 8 a.m. While not necessarily strange that he visited a grocery store before heading to work, what struck Tara as odd was the fact that Palmyra was the opposite direction from his work. Additionally, investigators discovered that Robert did not even have work the day that he left, and was supposed to meet with a friend instead, but he never showed up to the meeting. The case then went cold until his car was discovered in a parking lot in La Plata, Maryland, over 100 miles from Palmyra. The car contained some of his work tools and a work shirt, but his phone, as well as anything that could indicate where he might have gone, was missing. Video footage of the parking lot revealed nothing helpful, and it took so long for the car to be discovered that the footage of the car being parked had already been taped over, so officials do not even know exactly how long the car had been sitting in the lot. Since that day, no more leads have been discovered in the case. Police suspect foul play and hope that, since so much time has passed, there might be someone who knows something about the case who would come forward. Tara has had to spend the intervening years as a single mother raising a daughter who hardly even remembers her father, and the family has not even been able to receive closure in the case. The case is still open and ongoing, as officials hope to one day be able to offer a little bit of peace of mind to the family in the form of some answers as to what happened to Robert after he disappeared all those years ago. John Brisker's disappearance. Sometimes even fame cannot protect you from the horrors of the world, as was the case with professional basketball player John Brisker. Brisker was an American NBA player playing for the University of Toledo and then moving on to the Pittsburgh Pipers, Pittsburgh Condors, and Seattle Supersonics. Although a skilled player, he quickly gained a reputation as an explosive and volatile athlete. His teammates reported being frequently frightened by his aggressive, occasionally threatening demeanor, and his willingness to pick fights even during a professional game earned him the nickname the heavyweight champion of the ABA. In one game, he was ejected for fighting after only 2 minutes and attempted to charge back onto the court so many times that he was threatened with arrest unless he went to the locker rooms for the remainder of the game. He was an excellent player, but say something wrong to the guy and you had this feeling he would reach into his bag, take out a firearm and shoot you, remembered Charlie Williams, one of his teammates with the Pittsburgh Condors. It might seem difficult for such a blazing, fiery 6'5" personality to simply disappear without a trace, but that is exactly what happened to Brisker. In March of 1978, after he had been out of the NBA for 3 years and his career seemed to be winding down, he embarked on what appeared to be a business trip to Uganda. He had a 1-month-old daughter with his girlfriend and was interested in establishing a more stable way to provide for his family through launching an import-export business. He called his girlfriend, who was still in Seattle, on April 11th, and that was the last anyone ever heard from the former NBA athlete. Authorities have virtually no information to go off, although Brisker's former teammates and fans have spawned many legends and rumours based on the belief that he might have become a mercenary that met a bad end or had got involved in the Ugandan coup. However, the truth is that nobody has any idea what really happened to him. Although he was declared deceased in order to settle his estate, it is not even certain that he ever arrived in Africa at all. His communication during his absence was spotty and lacked any information that might have helped authorities in either country locate him, and a spokesperson for the FBI in Seattle has said that essentially we don't consider him deceased. The case has been cold ever since, and the lack of even one single lead has been incredibly frustrating for those hoping to receive some closure regarding the fate of the former star. The mystery behind the disappearance has garnered a small following, and many individuals have spent countless hours attempting to track down Brisker, but it truly appears that he vanished without a trace, meaning that he either perished somewhere in Uganda or is alive and well somewhere in the world, but just does not want to be found. But what do you make of these 3 stories? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.